everybody. Peaches and Power Bombs. My name is the Majestic. We have Alora over there, and we have the Saint from the Wrestling Wire joining us today. Welcome,
Hello, everyone.
everybody.
How's it
We
going?
got a call from the main roster telling us that our old NXT names were no longer suitable, so we had to change them. So if you know our old names, that's great, but we're not going to show them on camera, okay? So just try to use what we have on screen going forward. Alora, it's been a while. How are
I
you?
know. I'm good. How are you? Thank you.
Good.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back. And I think it's a new beginning for everybody all the way around.
I think so. Carlos is in the house. Hello, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. How you doing?
So, uh, like a ton of stuff happened since you've been gone.
Yeah.
And since Saint has been on here last, golly, Saint, I think it's been almost a year since you've been on here.
Wasn't the last time I was here? I did a spot with you and then ran immediately into a building to go announce a show.
I think so. I think it was something crazy like that because usually you're in your truck when you jump on and you're running somewhere. So it's like really odd to see you in like one place.
Oh my! Well, I unfortunately I was off today. My better half was not feeling well this morning, and out of concern, I didn't go into the office. Because I was trying to convince her to go to local medical facility, but you know she's stubborn, so it is what it is. But so I stayed home and hung out and did stuff with try to make her feel better and keep the kids occupied as best I could.
Yeah, well, we
Oh,
hope your wife feels better soon.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, the wrestling world is on fire right now.
I say.
Right now, it's been on fire the last couple of months, but it seems like
Yeah.
the fire's not going out. It's kind of like one
No.
of those ones in California where it's a wildfire and just keeps growing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's really awkward.
Yeah. So if you've been living under a rock, um, Vince McMahon has been investigated by the board of directors. They found out that he was paying about $14 million in hush money to some women that he decided to have relationships with. And in light of those findings, he decided, I guess, to retire and walk away, leaving Stephanie and Nick Khan as the co CEOs of WWE, as well as Triple H now being the head of talent relations and head of creative. So, Alora, since you've been gone, what do you think of all that mess?
I tell you what. um, I really think he was pretty much forced out the door. And honestly, I think it was just time for him to step away. It was very apparent, just from stories being told by former talent, etc. He was out of touch. He come up with some insane stuff, didn't make sense. We talked about it before, so
Mm-hmm.
all this came to light, and it was just like, you got to go. Sorry, and I guess it's fine. Stephanie is co-CEO. I'm not sure about Nick Khan, but apparently he's doing a lot for them. And Triple H as head of creative, EVP, talent relations, I think that's a good thing. A lot of people like Triple H, so we're definitely seeing the fruits of that labor for sure.
Absolutely. Saint, I'm almost afraid to ask you what you think of it.
So, all right. One of the running jokes is that Vince McMahon paid more in hush money than he did for WCW. I find that hilarious because it's true. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Wow. I didn't know
for
that.
I think it's a running gag. I don't know if it's accurate. If it is, it's funny. Even if it's truthful, it's even funnier. Most memes, as we all know, memes are jokes. They're made to be fun. They're made to be funny, and they're made to be different. Um, Vince leaving, as far as the whole out of touch thing goes, I believe it was more stagnant than it was out of touch, but that's, that's my opinion. I didn't have a problem with the WWE product. Now my interest in NXT has faded massively since the shift because I get the new talent, but their scripts were killing me. I wasn't feeling it. Um, could you tell a changing of the guard was occurring? Yeah, you've seen it in the last 10 days.
Hmm.
But as far as it goes, I really think it's going to take more time for that, for that to change. Matter of fact, the ratings came out already for Monday Night Raw. Did you guys see that?
No, I did
No.
not.
2.23 million viewers
Oh
for Raw
wow.
last night and a 0.61 in the 18 to 49 demographic. Monday Night Raw killed cable last night.
Yeah.
Now, I predicted it was going to take 60 to 90 days for this to occur. But, here we are, and I'm happy to be wrong, but I still said it was going to go to 2.5 million. And I also think NXT is going to jump up to a mil very soon. How fast are they going to be able to, take away some of the things that were built in? I don't know, but hopefully, the turnaround is there.
Yeah, well, obviously, we know that it's going to be slow because they were right on the cusp of a pay per view that they were building towards right when everything happened. So you don't want to just like toss everything in the garbage right before. You want to kind of just coast as you get through that. And then once that is over, then you can start implementing the changes that you believe in and want to see on the show. It's not going to be immediate. They're going to have to just gracefully bring their audience along to get used to all the new changes. And before we move on to SummerSlam, and because we did get to see some of those changes on SummerSlam and Monday Night Raw last night as well, if you were on the Real Wrestling Community with me last night, thank you for being a trooper and sticking with me for all 3 hours. We had a good time, but it was tiring. Before we do that, I'll bring up some comments. Ray All Day, of course, is in the chat. Adam Cole is king. All right.
I think he's returning tomorrow on Dynamite, isn't he?
I
I,
heard
I, I
something
think I
like
heard.
that.
I think they
heard
were all
something.
coming back.
Oh,
The
okay.
undisputed elite is all coming back or something.
Well, just for Ray All Day, we got to play.
Ray's one of our biggest fans.
Yeah, I think so. Our friends at the Dudes at Ringside podcast is in the house.
Hey guys.
I
Oh,
was
that's
on
awesome.
I was on their prediction show this past weekend. Them and No Chill with Phil, they were just awesome guys. So go check them out. Shane
Yes.
says, "I feel
Geek
sorry."
and Joe are a hoot. They are so much fun to
Yeah.
be around. Yes.
They are.
Go check them out.
Shane says, "I feel sorry for Linda McMahon."
So, as do I. Look, we see this in everything. You see it in all forms of facets of media. You see it in politics. You see it everywhere. That the same story happens over and over again. Not everybody's built the same. Different strokes for different folks. Or in Vince's case, you know, whatever you want to use that stroke joke as, go for it. Go on your own way with that. But it is what it is. What happened, I'm with you. What happened in the bedroom stays in the bedroom. They ain't got a damn thing to do with me. Now, the money, even, I'm no longer a stockholder. I was, though. I was a stockholder. If that's the case, then yeah, that does kind of affect me. But
Yeah.
I would love to see them. I'd love to see the concrete proof that the money came out of the WWE bank account. That would be great. And then I already actually made another prediction on what I think is going to happen with that. Vince is going to turn around. If you look at the stock market prices on them, go ahead and take a peek. When you get a chance, they're up. Their stocks are up.
Yeah.
And Vince is
Yeah,
still
I
majority
knew-
share.
Yeah.
He could drop the shares to cover the losses or cover whatever he spent and be like, okay, here's your money. There's the shares, and I'm taking the rest of my millions and millions and billions or whatever and rolling out, and I'll see you buy. He could just as easily do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got a little, my mind just like went boosh because our friend Issa, NYC Demon Diva, is in
Hey,
the
Issa, how are
house.
you?
Holy cannoli, guys. Okay, so she had a huge weekend at Summerslam. She got to be, she got to cover Summerslam for Lucha Libre Online, and she was the only woman in the lineup panel for Media Day. So
That's
congratulations to
awesome.
her on that.
Yeah.
That's really, she's doing a lot of great stuff, and her YouTube channel is awesome. So
I
go check her
admire
out.
Issa. It I watch her stuff sometimes, and I follow her on Instagram and stuff. I was like, I need to find out her secret because I want to do what she does. That's something I've always wanted to do. But I enjoy Issa, and again, congratulations to you. I know that was awesome.
Yeah, it had to be. All right, guys. So let's get into SummerSlam, shall we? Let's get to the fun stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So right out of the bat, we had a huge surprise with the Raw Women's Championship with Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. A great match between these two ladies. They always kill it. Always kill it. They
Yes.
could wrestle 5 billion times, and I would be for it every single one. And they did not disappoint. And of course, Bianca Belair, our girl, she came out on top. And then Becky Lynch, with kind of the babyface turn a little bit,
Hmm.
shaking hands with Bianca at the end. And then, of course, the huge surprise at the end. So before we get into the huge surprise, we'll talk about the match. What did you guys think of this match? Alora?
Uh, I was
Sorry.
waiting on saying, yeah. I really, I want to bring this up right quick. Jimmy Smith said at the beginning of the broadcast, rivalries will be settled and legacies will be decided, and like that proved true after the first match. Yeah, Becky and Bianca, they're just amazing in the ring. That chapter of their story is closed for now, and I really like how I didn't like the way it started last year at SummerSlam. It wasn't so much that she did it; it was how she did it. I think she should have did the disarmor, but that's just my opinion. But um, I really liked how this ended. They shook hands, and you could tell they were very emotional. And Becky got out of the ring and let Bianca have her moment, and that was before we knew she was injured too. And then of course, you know me, my little fangirl heart was just racing and screaming at the surprises because I even wrote on my notes. Let me see. Great start. What is next for these two? What a sweet emotional moment with them at the end where they hug. And we got our answer like straight up, like, gosh. I'm, yeah, my little fangirl heart was just so happy.
Yeah, it was an awesome moment. Saint, what did you think of the match?
So while I thought it was a great match, it did set a good tone for the evening because it was high energy. There was a lot of moving parts to it. I did hear a lot of banter about the botches. So two things here. Number one, botches happen every show. It doesn't matter whether you're at $5 wrestling at your local bingo hall or you're attending WrestleMania. That's irrelevant. Now, the kicker about this show is it's outside. Heat, humidity. There was a 20% chance of thunderstorms. There was a lot going on with that. So you got to take those things into consideration before you go barking about, oh, they botched it. Yeah,
Yeah, Brock about busted his face when he slipped on the barricade. So
Yes, and then well, the whole tractor thing. Like, we'll get to that
Yeah.
later. Because I had a lot of interesting thoughts about the tractor. But either way, um, opening match, good match. The returns, very cool because I mean I had a feeling we were getting Bailey. I didn't know we were getting Dakota Kai at all, and I didn't know we were getting Io Shirai either.
I like screamed when Io's music hit. I was like, "Oh yes, yes, she finally got the call. About time."
Well,
Well,
like I
according
said,
to
you could tell.
reports, according to what I was reading, she had no interest in doing anything with the main roster, and she was willing to just ride out her contract, the
Mm-hmm.
rest of it. I don't know if that's like 100% true or not, but going with the way things were, I kind of see it, and plus the fact that they weren't doing much with her either. So, um, I was really excited, and I figured we were getting like Bailey or Charlotte or something like that, but definitely not Dakota Kai, who was just released, what, 6 months ago?
It was something to that.
Right.
It was right after Mania, somewhere around there.
It just felt like
And that
Triple
goes
H
to
was
show
bringing his
you
people
too.
back.
That goes to show you too. I feel like Triple H had a lot to do with that because Dakota Kai was a favorite in NXT, and of course Io Shirai, like you said, was not interested and was like, "Okay, I'm done." And then all this happens. That's like a prime example of the influence of Triple H. That's just what I saw. So, but yeah, I definitely was like thinking that for sure.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. Oh man,
Um,
we got a lot of comments. Go ahead,
yeah.
Hank.
Go ahead. Nah, I didn't. I didn't have anything interesting. I was just going to point out that while Dakota coming back, 3 to 6 months after she was released, and then I I hadn't heard anything about EO riding out her contract. I don't know that from what I understand. What was that? A Dave Meltzer report? So the funny thing is about dirt sheets, and this has been proven. It's been proven that the WWE and their spokespeople and even companies like AEW have done it. MLW's done it. A lot of different companies do this. It's called misinformation, and they will tell you, I've done it. I've done it personally because I find it funny, and it also helps you weed out the rats in your life. It helps you weed out the rats in your business too. You tell somebody a little nugget of information, but you change it. Like I'll make it an example. Hey, Majestic, I'm relocating to Corpus Christi, Texas. I told you that. Now, Alora, I'm relocating to Jupiter, Florida. And then I go tell person C over here, hey, I'm going back to Maryland. I ain't dealing with this crap in the South at all. Then I wait to find out who plays Run Tell That. When I figure out which one of you goes and runs and tells somebody and I get a phone call, hey, I heard you were going back here. Oh, really? Now I know who I can't trust.
Mm.
So the WWE does that. I've done it personally, professionally, on more than one occasion. I find it fun. But when the WWE does it, they do it with, they'll do it talking about random people just so you get XYZ trying to offer them a deal or whatever else, and it'll even sweeten the deals in that case. It'll drive contract prices up to do that, especially when it comes to talent like Io Shirai.
Yeah.
You really need to open up a big checkbook for her because she's extremely talented. She's a very safe worker for as extreme as she is.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my take on it.
Yeah, well, that's why I said that I don't know if that's 100% true or not. I mean, I could almost see it just because you look at the way things go and you could be like, well, I wouldn't be happy if that was me. So
Right.
I don't know. Take it or leave it sometimes. Okay,
Yeah.
lots of
I think
comments.
too, I'll say this before you go to the comments. We had we had big returns and big debuts all in that moment. And I really like the fact that these guys are in a faction.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a part part. I mean, that's going to be the main women's storyline on Raw. I mean, I have no complaints because the women's division really needed a boost, and I think we got that.
Absolutely. All right, let's attack these comments. I won't get to everybody's. I'm sorry, because y'all just keep pouring it in, and we are so happy you're here. By the way, so keep doing it. And Issa's giving us some love. Maybe there we go. But my buttons can work. I was having trouble with my little mouse pad. That's why I was late too because of that reason. Oh, Shane, I did not watch this on purpose because of that reason.
Mm.
Nope, I didn't watch it. John from My Music Corner over in YouTube. He says this was fun to watch in person. He was at SummerSlam this weekend too.
Nice.
Yes, Becky Lynch did injure her shoulder and she will be out, says Carlos. Hello, Wesley. Hello, Tim. Going ahead and just throwing those up.
Hi, guys.
Yep, the heat and the humidity did play a part in everything. Hi, Timothy. Victor says hopefully they bring back Tegan Knox. Maybe.
Yeah, I think her issue was staying healthy. She had those two, both of her knees were, she tore her ACLs, right? It was something like that.
ACL, MCL, meniscus,
all
whatever.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, she had some issues with that, poor thing.
I love her. I would love to see her back.
Yeah. I always thought she was a very good talent as well. I'm ecstatic that Zoe Stark is back, to be honest with you. I mean, let's call a spade here. That woman is 45 years old, in the shape of her life, finally catching a break, blows her knee out. And now she's back. And I mean, I really think she's going to get what she deserves. I got to see her work when they were in South Carolina years ago. They did an NXT show here in Spartanburg. And man, it was awesome. It was before she was ever put on TV. And I'm like, I don't know who she is, but she's just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I went to an NXT show there years ago when Asuka and the Revival and Bobby Roode was still in there.
Yep.
Were you at that show?
The one in Spartanburg?
Yeah, the one way back.
Where Cash Wheeler broke his jaw?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I was 4 rows from the front, behind commentary, where commentary would be.
I was 2 rows behind you.
Oh, wow.
I was in
I was before we met though, so
it was.
Small world.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really good show.
It was. The whole Bobby Roode and he was out there with the Revival and DIY and stuff. That was really good. That was fun.
Oof.
Yeah. Great days.
Mm.
Okay, moving on. Logan Paul versus The Miz. I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get to catch all of Logan Paul's last match with The Miz at WrestleMania because it was my husband's birthday, so I didn't watch all of it. And so I didn't get to see that. And this was, he even has the little things down. Like, he didn't just like, oh yeah, he went through the motions and he could do the moves and he did that, this or that. He had facial expressions down. He sold when he was supposed to. He pandered to the crowd at the right time and things like that. I was just like, okay, this guy came to play. He is not just, horsing around out there and making a fool out of pro wrestling. He takes it seriously. So I was very, very happy to see that.
Oh yeah, big ups to Logan Paul for that, because too many times you see celebrities come in and it's just a disaster. the fact that he's like taking the time to learn the little things, that's awesome. And I mean, he continues to impress. I mean, he has absolutely done his homework. I mean, I have respect for that.
I agree entirely. I think long gone are the days of Lawrence Taylor showing up to face Bam Bam Bigelow. I mean, that was I'm showing my age here. Sorry, guys. But
Same, same.
oh, you remember that?
Yes.
Right? But the cool thing is, it's like Bad Bunny was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Logan Paul was fantastic. I haven't seen a celebrity be that good in the ring in a very long time. I mean, you catch the Shaq here or there wherever he's been. Knoxville was fun. That was good. I saw the frowny face. I saw her frowny face. But here's the thing. Even Sami Zayn says it's like one of his favorite things ever, and I agree because
it fit what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to be goofy in the gross sense of the word goofy. And so if that is your thing, then it worked. That is not my kind of goofy. I hate that garbage. So it wasn't for me. It was for all of you.
Yeah, well, I remember watching Jackass as a teen, and I thought it was funny. And I remember watching Beavis and Butthead before that, and Daria, if you guys remember that stuff.
Daria was my jam.
Right? She reminds me of Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy throws the kick. She put out her hand to hit the volleyball like this. Same thing. But, I mean, I don't know. I thought I broke Majestic. I broke the Majestic. It happened. Either way, I thought it was hilarious. And for me, the comedy spots stuck. They worked. It was better than just a random hardcore match that wouldn't have made any sense. It would have only been better if they had taken a porta potty and chucked him into the porta potty and then knocked it over or something with Sammy in it. That would have been way better. But, it's okay. Sammy come out blue? Yes, I'm down.
One of the notes I have, I totally forgot Ciampa was with The Miz. I do think a feud between the two would be in the works. And then when AJ Styles came out, I'm like, yes, let's have a feud with Tommaso Ciampa and Ciampa. Let's have a feud with him and AJ Styles. I am so here for that.
Their match last night on Monday Night Raw was really good.
I haven't caught Raw yet, but yeah, I'm planning on watching that in the next few days.
Yeah, it was very much a statement show. So you should check it out.
Oh yeah.
The Miz, I don't think The Miz gets enough credit.
He really does.
What that dude does. He's so good. And people want to just dog on him all the time. Oh, The Miz, he's boring, or The Miz gets that go away heat or whatever it is that they say. I don't know what the terms are that they like to use, but I like The Miz.
He gets cheap heat, actually, but it's I get it.
It works for him though.
It does, and it's fine. Anything's better than Authority Seth Rollins. I'm that's the type of heel I don't like. That whiny, So
you don't like the weasel heels?
No, I don't. Thank you, because that's definitely not the word I was going to use, but I have to remember my place. I am on Peaches and Powerbomb, so I must behave myself. I normally have a script for this, but I think I left it in Florida when I interviewed that preacher on my show. Yeah, I had a preacher on my show, okay? And I had on a big piece of paper, don't effing cuss. And I was like, here, there's my script for the day. And I threw it, and I think I left it there.
Oh man.
That's funny. Holy cannoli. That's my version of cussing, by the way.
What?
We
Well, I
have
beeped
a
it.
ton of comments.
I
My
beeped it out
goodness.
on the paper, and I didn't cuss that whole show, which is weird for me to make it an hour and a half.
Sound like me.
We got some comments about old school MTV.
Oh gosh.
And Shane says, it's a shame how WWE is using The Miz. He should be in the main event matches. Miz is awesome. Well, they can't have everybody in the main event because everybody's pretty good. And
Granted, go ahead.
everybody deserves a spot. And if they need somebody, they usually do either bring up The Miz or Dolph Ziggler or someone of that caliber that they don't always have right there, but they are so reliable. So you can bring them up whenever.
Right, but let's, yet again, coining the phrase of call a spade a spade. Look at guys the size of Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley. Those are your big four.
Yeah.
They are the largest and most in charge men in that locker room.
Yeah.
When you look at guys like The Miz in theory are a similar size. You got, Dolph's is very similar size. Bobby Roode's a similar size. I mean, yeah, these guys all have great looks, great physiques. They're not that larger than life presence that Drew is. You've shared a picture with you and Drew. He's nearly 2 feet taller than you are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can only imagine, he's got to be close to that with me as well. Because I'm not a tall person. It was the first thing our buddy Tom said to me when he met me. I thought you'd be taller. And I'm like, well, nice to meet you too, sir.
With The Miz, he is 100% a WWE guy, and he's been with them through their ups and downs. And even with the whole script thing, restrictions, The Miz still delivered on that. He is definitely one of the best talkers of this generation, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. I mean, he knows how to get the crowd hot, whether they're cheering or booing him. And I really think he's underrated as far as that goes as well, in addition to him being in the ring. Because, I mean, I remember watching him on The Real World in 1999 talking about, I'm The Miz. I was like, that dude ain't going to be nothing. Prove me wrong.
I agree with I remember the show too. And I will go as far to say this. I am a huge Roddy Piper fan. I loved Roddy Piper. And to this day, I don't think there's been anybody on the microphone that good. The Miz is this generation's Roddy Piper. And
I like that.
That's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow in the days of MJF out there and CM Punk out there and all these other cats. I'm sorry. The Miz is one of the best talkers. Jericho doesn't count as this generation. Jericho's transcended generations.
Yeah.
That's like us trying to, talk Undertaker, Sting, and Ric Flair versus somebody that debuted a week ago. Come on, man.
Well, it's because Chris Jericho's a wizard.
Yeah. And he'll throw a fireball in your face if you're not.
You almost broke me. I almost said it. I almost said something bad. Jeez.
Oh, you got a problem with that, nerd? I'll throw a fireball in your face because I'm a wizard.
Well, I mean, Dumbledore, was in his ripe old age too. So it would only, it's only fitting. I'm waiting for it to happen now. I'm waiting for Jericho to bring back Oz. Who got that reference? Who knows who Oz is?
I think I do. Or no, I'm thinking of Curtis Hughes. That's who I'm thinking of. Never mind.
Is that Kevin Nash who's Oz?
Yes, it is. It is. Kevin Nash was Oz back in the day. I thought he was cool as Vinny Vegas, but that's me.
I forgot about Oz. I remember Vinny Vegas, but I forgot about Oz. Dang it.
No.
I need to brush up.
Oh man, and I'm the one with the brain injury here. Come on now,
Oh
killing me.
my gosh.
Wesley is saying that The Miz is a curtain jerker. I honestly think that there's really no such thing as a curtain jerker anymore, because if you're not on the main event, you want to be first because you're going to set the tone for the rest
Exactly.
of the night. Brock Lesnar came out first for WrestleMania with Seth Rollins a couple years ago.
I'm pretty sure that hurt his ego.
No, that was his idea.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
I'm
He
shocked.
said it was when the women main evented, and he said if he wasn't going to be last, he would be first.
To let them know, we're not really addressing any of the comments that hard over there, but we see the YouTube side. Just to let you know, Surf Wrestling, I see you.
I'm trying to get there.
There's a ton
I'm
of them.
reading through it.
There's a ton of comments.
Big rumor has it that Tony Khan's match Bray Wyatt's price and scoop him up. I haven't heard that.
I
but
haven't
wouldn't be
either.
surprised. I mean, I would be interested if I was Tony Khan. I would want to scoop up Bray Wyatt. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
Right?
I mean, I heard rumors
There
that
was-
he might have showed up at SummerSlam. He didn't, but
That's what I heard, yeah. Imagine being Bray Wyatt and, people are just like throwing all these offers at you and stuff.
Alma says that The Miz is good and that Ciampa is a good wrestler and that he has potential to be that main event guy.
Excuse me.
I mean, we're gonna be 90 minutes just doing the daggone
Comments.
doing the comments.
I know.
I can't get to everybody, hun. I'm sorry.
You definitely gonna have to show them all to me
I'm
when
trying
we're
to get
done.
at least one of everyone.
You can't
but
see 'em?
like, yeah,
I'm on StreamYard.
So am I.
Hold on.
Right, on the upper right hand corner, you have private chat. Click the comments button, and you can see them all.
Oh, sorry.
Carlos. Yeah, we'll talk about Brock here in a few minutes. He says that Brock's not coming back until the January pay-per-view. I heard that too.
Okay.
They want to talk about Ricochet. Ricochet wasn't on SummerSlam. That's both a crime and a shame, but he wasn't there.
Exactly.
So I mean, we're not going to talk about Ricochet tonight.
Yeah, not tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. We are just now on the third match, and it's already 38 minutes.
Right?
U.S. Championship. Bobby Lashley versus Theory. This was quick. What it should have been. Bobby Lashley just destroying Theory. In the Hurt Lock. Tap, tap, tap. Good night.
Lashley is still so over, and I can't be happier for him. I mean, I love it.
He deserves it.
Absolutely. They finally got him right after so long. And it's like, I never got Bobby Lashley until then. And then I was like, I'm on the Lashley train.
I liked Lashley when he was the ECW champion
Oh, yeah.
back in the Attitude Era. I thought that was great. Well, that was Attitude Ruthless Aggression period. I thought it was great. I think it was Ruthless Era. I don't recall.
Okay.
But either way, I thought he was great back then for that because he had that explosive athleticism. You had your primary titles over here doing their things and Lashley leading the charge over there. It worked for me. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
The Trump thing with Umaga, Trump and McMahon and Umaga and Lashley at a Mania at that time. What was that? 2025 or WrestleMania 25 or 23 something. I don't remember.
23.
I think it was 23.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Was that WrestleMania Goes to Hollywood? Was that 23?
No, I think that one was in Detroit. Hollywood was 21.
Might have been 21 then. I don't know. I got the DVD somewhere in this place. If it's not over here, it's over there. And if it's not in either of those, it's down there. I don't.
Shannon, I see your comment. Thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. That's
it is
why
really
I'm kind
hard to weed through. Surf wrestling, I'm trying my best, okay?
What do
I
you
am
mean?
trying my best.
You just put up a comment from YouTube.
Okay.
Really? That's fair.
You have a fan.
I'm
in
glad
the
to
house.
see YouTubers on here, though.
Yes.
Right. You guys get more YouTubers than I do.
Really?
Well, the weird thing about my show is my show predominantly is promoters watching and talking. It's not very seldom wrestlers. I got my regulars. Wesley's always there. Wesley's been following me since January when I launched, and you know that's great. And hell, I talk to him plenty offline too. But man, I don't get too much of the YouTube side.
We weren't doing it on purpose, surf wrestling. It's just that I'm getting a ton of comments all at once, and I'm trying to bring everyone up, and it's hard to weed through everything. I'm
A
sorry.
real wrestling podcast. Well, I mean, technically, it's a live stream.
Yeah, I think we have a hater.
Okay.
Oh, great! That'll be. Hey, look, when your music gets reported, let me know.
My music can't get reported. It's self-made.
Oh, I know. No. Mine's custom made too, and still, it's every week now. The music I use was made for me,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
I'm like,
moving
yep.
on. Moving on, we're going to talk about the no
Definitely.
disqualification Judgment Day versus the Mysterios. It was weird because it was no disqualifications, yet they were still tagging in and out. That was really weird.
Well, a no DQ doesn't equal a tornado tag, does it?
It did. It did in the 90s. So I was confused.
I don't know.
Anyway, we'll just talk about the match itself. It was good. It was what it was. I was happy to see Edge return at the end. And I'm glad he cut his hair because he was starting to look like a scraggly little old man. So, good match. Good return of Edge.
That was cool. Other than the fact that he cut all the hair off, man, you could have kept it.
No. I'm glad he cut it. Anyway, what did you think, Alora?
I really I love the Los Guerreros reference. Los Mysterios. I was like, oh, yes. Balor is I really enjoyed that clothesline. Balor interrupted the 619. That was a good moment for me. Everybody knew the Edge was returning, obviously. That was a cool comeback. I enjoyed that. And then the spears, oh my God. It's like, dang, are they still alive after that?
Yeah, no.
Oh, he laid him in there. He definitely laid him in there. That one he hit on Balor was unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I mean, it was a good match. It did what we needed it to do. It's keeping the storyline going until they figure out what they're going to do with this. You know.
I'm expected Dominic to turn on Ray at any time, but I would like to see Ray turn on him just for the, swerve.
Rey Mysterio's never been a heel, though, and he's been in it so long it's hard to hate him. It's kind of like Edge. As hard as they were trying to make Edge a heel, people still were cheering him.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase. At least I know I was. So.
Yeah, there's a different dynamic, though, between Edge and Rey Mysterio. Edge has been a heel before, so you can turn him heel. Rey Mysterio is like that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, clean, clear-cut baby face his entire career, so it's completely different. So it'd be really hard to picture him as a heel.
Well, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was actually a heel pre-AWA days, so.
Well, that
Yeah.
was a long time ago.
But well, I mean, you know, you
You
can't
know
say
what
his.
I mean, though.
I know his entire career that we know of, or that the general
Squeaky.
public knows of.
Yeah, the squeaky clean. Not back when he first started or something. But anyway, you know what I mean. That just
Yeah,
no dirt on your face type thing.
yeah. I'm just picking at you.
These comments. There's so many of them.
Surf
I think
Wrestling got his feelings hurt. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I was waiting for Dominic to turn the whole time. Yeah, I kind of was too.
as far as that goes, it's a feeling it'll go away. But as you know, waiting for Dominic to turn, I don't know if they're going to do that until Ray's ready to hang it up. I think they'll wait.
Yeah.
I think they'll wait. I could be dead wrong and they'll do it Monday. Who knows? But
I don't know.
Right?
I just hope if he does do it, he's not going to be by himself. Because he looks really awkward out there. Like he's not his wrestling, but like the rest of it, like when they're trying to shoot promos or in there doing something, he just looks so awkward, like he's not sure. Like he's not sure of himself almost.
yeah,
That's just
he
the
is.
vibe I get.
He has to work on his presence.
He's lacking confidence. I agree.
Yeah.
Dominic, when Dominic wrestled Seth, what was it, 2 years ago or last year, one? He did so good. And I know that he had a lot of pressure on him. And, so he's not perfect, but, he's young. He'll get used to it. And I'm pretty sure, he grew up around everybody. Can you imagine the learning trees he's sitting under and the ton of advice he's getting?
Yeah. And trying to decide which is the good advice and what's the bad advice.
Right,
It's
yeah.
gotta be fun to figure out. Wesley says, I think wrestlers should go back to mullets. Well, Dominic has one. And so does Brian Pillman Jr. over there on AEW.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a fantastic comment that just came in from Christopher Burton.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
from
gonna
the
bring
Straight
it right
Up
now.
Wrestling Show.
Can Dom cut a promo good enough to be believable to even be a heel?
That remains to be seen.
Yeah.
That is a very good point, Chris. That is very lucid, valid point there. Yeah. Hey, Surf Wrestling, we're still doing Facebook because they're saying something of relevance. If you want your comment to be shown, say something relevant, and I'm sure Tina will put it up.
Yeah.
I'm sure Majestic will put it up.
All I'm getting is being screamed at.
Exactly. Nobody wants to put hate mail up.
Yeah, gosh. Be positive around here.
Like, dude, I delete spam in my email every day. Still ain't said anything about Ricochet. Ricochet wasn't on the show. Ricochet wasn't on
that.
the other wasn't on Saturday, and they weren't on Monday. Why are we? You are out of your mind.
We talked about Bobby Lashley.
Dude, were you hugged enough as a
Bianca
child?
No,
Oh my God.
do you know? Hey, look, guys, listen. This is exactly what they're doing. They're trying to throw everybody off. So say something relevant there, sweet cheeks, and we'll bring the statement up. Beyond that, go pound sand. Anyway.
The next match on the Summerslam card, because we are covering Summerslam on our podcast, was Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin.
I like the fact that they had history, but anything with Corbin, I'll be honest, I was on TikTok while this match was going on. I cannot stand Corbin. I don't get the appeal. I liked his lone wolf thing after that. I don't know. It just, poof. But
I think Corbin has been dealt a bad hand, and he is the man of many gimmicks, and it's not his fault. And he tries very hard to make everything that he's been given work. Some of it did, and some of it didn't. The poor Corbin in the Las Vegas, the poor Corbin was hilarious. I loved all that.
Yep. Oh, I agree. Lone Wolf was fantastic. I love the gimmick. I love the shtick. And then uh, Sad Corbin, Broke Corbin, whatever you want to call him, was fantastic. Uh, Happy Corbin is lame as all get out. Uh, but the real story here, man, is Pat McAfee. Yet again, another guy, by all intents and purposes, shouldn't be as good as he is, but he's a natural athlete, and it shows. He has passion for the industry. It shows. I mean, I was impressed when I saw him in NXT against Adam Cole, baby. There you go, Ray.
Ray all day.
Ray someday. And you know, he was fantastic then. He was fantastic on the main roster against Theory. That I swear to God, I had so many WTF moments on that. I couldn't believe it. And then now here we are. I think the coolest thing that happened with Pat was the Mania where he got stunned by Austin, rolled out the ring, and he's still drinking the beer unconscious. Like it looks so good. I loved it.
Yeah, and just that slow-mo backfall that he did when he got stunned and he was spewing beer out at the same time. It was just like this. And he falls back.
Oh.
I think that was like up there with The Rock selling the stunner.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Austin has actually written what I want my funeral to look like. You know, the beer truck? I want the beer truck and then take my ashes while you have the cannon going and then just spray my ashes everywhere and I'm good to go. See ya.
Wesley says, I love the finisher Deep Six. It's like a sidewalk slam from the Big Boss Man, but he twists you around in an extra time. Yeah.
Yeah, very accurate.
It's very cool. The fact that they have history was good, says Chris, was good, but the match fell flat, unfortunately, even though Pat McAfee did a good job.
I do not agree. That match was right where I needed it to be to pick me up because, it actually made me forget how weak the Theory match was with Lashley. Yeah, it made Lashley look super strong. It made Theory look like a chump, but we knew what it was doing. It was setting him up, to come back out later. Yeah, it is what it is. I thought the match was good.
Yeah, I did too. Alma says that insane off the top rope splash on him through the commentator's desk. I was impressed with his performance.
That was the Logan Paul match. What was cool was when they showed the replay 17 times, and I'm able to explain it to my 6-year-old son that, hey man, look, watch his knees. His knees landed on top of the table too. Like if he had that much force and velocity, he had a hit, he'd have shattered both of his legs, at least one, in my book. Fast he was moving.
I don't agree with this, Shane, but I will bring up the comment. I am so over these celebrities trying to wrestle. They are taking spots away from real wrestlers. I'd rather see Braun Breaker, Steiner than Logan Paul, etc. Most of the time, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
If they were just trying to treat it like a joke, but they're not. They're taking it seriously. And I would almost say that Logan Paul and Pat McAfee both are now, quote unquote, real wrestlers.
They're made guys.
Pat McAfee is on commentary full time, and he's a great commentator at that.
I agree entirely. I believe that him and Michael Cole are the best commentary team running currently.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. He brought life back into Michael Cole's commentary, definitely. And now the fact that he doesn't have Vince McMahon screaming in his ear for 3 hours helps too. He was very passionate Saturday night. Very passionate. Okay, moving on. Undisputed Tag Team Championships. The Usos versus the Street Profits. Not a white person in sight. By the
What?
way. I'm being facetious.
Oh, because of the person, the a-hole in the
Yeah.
comments? Okay. It's cool.
YouTuber that don't want to go on Facebook.
It's all good. No, you know what's really cool is, like, they know how to come to us. We have no clue who they are.
Oh,
Because you know surf wrestling is not somebody's actual name, right?
No.
Like,
I went on YouTube and typed his name in, and I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
That was what I was
it's-
doing a few minutes ago.
oh, okay. Probably
I'm
'cause-
petty like that.
Yeah. You know, you got to put the little icon in there for the name to work. Oh, my. Anyway.
Anyway, we're having fun with our Facebook fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Our biggest following is on Facebook, so I mean,
It
hey.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Facebook,
The
Twitter,
Usos and the
Twitch,
Street
YouTube.
Profits. I know people get tired of seeing this over and over and over again, but I think they are telling a story here. They're doing something with Montez Ford, and you could really see it on Monday Night Raw.
Montez Ford is a star in the making. He's very charismatic. He's very what's the word I'm looking for? Oh shoot. Animated is the word I'm looking for, maybe. I don't. Anyway, he's very charismatic. He's a character. That's what I was looking for. And you could tell at the end of that match, yeah, they're gonna do something with them. I hope it doesn't hurt Angelo Dawkins, because I like him a lot too. But
Yeah.
it's obvious that Montez Ford has it.
Yes. Now, the cool thing is there have been teams who have split and gone on to have successful singles careers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in some cases, they're not everybody's, Edge and Christian or Matt and Jeff, because they had the best singles careers. Occasionally, or most of the time, they're lucky if they even look like the Dudley Boys, where you had one have a better singles run than the other. But the Dudley Boys are the greatest tag team in the history of professional wrestling. So it kind of makes up for it.
Yeah, and too, with tag teams, WWE has some pretty awesome tag teams. If anything, Usos and the Street Profits prove that. I like to see more of that. So, and then too, you remember the bar, Sheamus and Cesaro had nothing to do, and they put them together. You were kind of like first, but it ended up being one of my favorite things on WWE for a while, because they just worked so well together. And sometimes it's kind of like I remember when Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels tagged, and they were tag team champions, but they kept fighting all the time, and it was like,
right,
y'all could be an awesome tag team. Quit fighting.
And the 2-man power trip, Austin and Triple H.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Taker and Kane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brothers of Destruction.
Yep.
My nephew would be proud.
Yeah, this match was really good. I know people always say that they do this over and over and over again. But they were already building, they were already doing this before SummerSlam, so I think it's just kind of it was a coasting type situation.
Emotions really did run high during that match too, so
yeah,
I think that factors in a lot too.
Oh, Christopher, shoo. I disagree. They take it seriously. They take time to learn the art of the business, not come just to get a paycheck. Well,
That was as a reply to Shane's comment at 7:28. So if you roll up to that one,
okay. Okay,
you'll
okay. I think I disagree, and they take it seriously are supposed to be two separate sentences.
well no, so Shane made the one.
Well, yes, but it says I disagree. They take it seriously, and it's in all one sentence. So I
Yeah,
read it
there needs to be a
together.
comma there. Yeah, there
Yes.
needs to be a comma there. It's
Okay.
okay, you know.
Sorry,
Julian
Chris.
It's
made
I
it to
read
the
it
show.
wrong.
Hey.
Hi, Julian.
it's you know it's Chris and he's from the area, so you can't expect perfect grammar here where we are.
Yeah. Well.
Um, one other thing I'll mention, I listen to Good Mike Ward commentaries a lot. He brought this up, and speaking of, two big stars in a tag team he would like to see is Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. I'm like, ooh, that would be a good tag team. I'm not against it.
So
Now,
as
no, but down
uh,
the line, maybe.
yeah, it has to. The problem with that is it has to make sense. Now, it made sense for stuff like how they did with most recently, how they did with John Moxley and Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, whatever.
Yeah.
That guy. Um, that made sense. The way they formed the bar, the best of seven, that was a Mick Foley thing, wasn't it? Yeah, that worked. Um, the way they do all of that stuff, it's it's got to make sense. And in their case, it doesn't make any sense because they just had that huge rivalry. Uh, but both of them being, faces or good guys for, uh, the people who don't know. I think while it could be entertaining, I just, at this point, I definitely don't see it.
Never
I
know.
don't think it would work.
You don't think so?
No, because I don't see. Bobby
Maybe it's an
Lashley
idea. Maybe it's an idea that looks better on paper.
I don't think that Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre would have the chemistry to
I got you.
not work as a tag team.
I
I
got
don't
you.
see it, but that doesn't mean that they couldn't prove me wrong one day. I don't know.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
never know. It just sounded good to me when I heard it. I was like, ooh, I like that.
Well, that's okay because pro wrestling is subjective.
That's right.
Yep.
That's the
It's all
fun
about
point.
perception.
Yeah. Eventually, I think it's going to happen.
I don't know if you're going to get a turn as much as you're just going to get them stop working together. And not every tag team has to end in the barbershop, okay?
Right.
We don't need somebody getting super kicked through glass every time.
People were waiting on like the New Day to turn on each other for the longest time. And
Now
they were
it's
like,
just
you know
like
what? They're never going to break up. Let's just keep rolling.
that's
Right.
somebody else that wasn't at SummerSlam, the New Day.
Yeah. They
had a
just
match. They
they had
match.
the match on Friday night against
Oh, right.
what is that, the Viking Raiders or something?
Oh yeah, don't they have something going on?
Yeah, they kind of had a mini. They finished. They buttoned up some of the little bitty storylines that they had going on SmackDown last Friday
I got you.
that they didn't want on the main card. Okay, Christopher would like to pose a question. Hi, Julian. I didn't. Sorry, I just now saw that. I would like to pose a question with Bailey and everyone coming back. Will or does WWE bring back the women's tag team titles?
Um, there's rumors saying that Sasha and Naomi are back in talks with WWE. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I think that could be a factor. I would like to see them back because it gives you a secondary feud to pay attention to. Give the other girls some of that time and everything. So
I only want them to do it if they're going to make real tag teams and not just throw two women together for
yeah,
the sake of doing it.
Well, I'll put it to you like this: when Naomi and Sasha walk back out with the tag titles, you'll have your answer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what's going to happen. Now, if they walk back out without the tag titles, that's just going to be weird. But I mean, I could see them walking back out or new tag titles and not those gaudy looking ones that they have now. I don't like the look of those. I do not like the look of the belts.
If Naomi and Sasha did come back, I would love to see how they work all that in, with them walking out with the tag titles, like create a story with it. We'll see.
Okay, I know the Saints got to go at 8, so we gotta muscle through a little bit faster.
All right.
The SmackDown Women's Championship, Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey.
Short, quick, to the point, controversial finish. We're leaving anything out.
Both ladies still looking okay.
Yep, and they used the Undertaker finish where Undertaker was tapping to Brock when he was in the Kimura, but he had him pinned. So it worked for me. A good match.
Yeah, considering Liv, she's the underdog. So
and considering Ronda is uninspiring.
She had a good first run, but when she came back, you could tell her heart was just not into it this time. Got a quick comment. No, it's storyline to write her off of TV for a while, Carlos. Ronda didn't really get suspended. It was part of the show. Julian is very happy about Ronda turning heel.
yes, he loves Ronda. Trust me, if I talk to him later on, I'll hear all about it.
All right. Alora, since you've been away from the podcast, I have a gift for you. Since we're about to talk about Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, I made this especially for you.
Introducing a big-ass country boy weighing 285 pounds, coming here tonight to kick Roman Reigns' ass in the last man standing. Ladies and gentlemen, Brock Lesnar.
It was kind of you to think of me.
You're welcome.
Carlos, more than likely that is a storyline suspension.
Yeah.
Refs, look, I'm taking away the curtain for a minute. Workers will ask refs, "Hey, you want to take a bump tonight?" And if you don't, will somebody else do it? That's normally how that conversation goes in the indies. Now, when you're talking about the big leagues, I mean, it's written into it. So it's likely that was all part of the plan. So Ronda being suspended is storyline.
Yeah, we just talked about that. That's okay.
Yep.
Hi, David. Nice to see you. All right, go ahead, Alora. How did you feel about this match?
It had me on the edge of my seat because I am really all about this lengthy title reign, and of course I'm all about Roman as is. I mean, hello, but man, I couldn't believe how he got his butt kicked all through the match. I'm like, Roman, hey, wake up. Get to work, Tribal Chief. What? Oh, he was getting on my nerves. And I was just sitting there like, oh my God. I think I was texting you, and then he brought the stupid tractor out, and I'm like, oh my God, seriously? This is just a comedy at this point. Really?
I like the tractor.
I did too.
I did, and then after a while, I'm like, okay, this is comical. Come on now. Roman just was like, I don't know. Roman just.
If Roman was the one who lifted the tractor up, you would have been all about it.
She
to the
thinks my
ring.
tractor's sexy.
I was going to say they should have had that be Brock's theme music for the entrance that time. Could you?
Somebody actually said they wonder if Sable thought that.
Oh man.
The tractor was cool. I'll give him that. It was cool. Something we haven't seen.
Well,
And then he about flipped the ring over. I'm like, dude, seriously.
well, so there's a couple of intricacies there, and take it from me because I own a tractor. But they had a ballast box on the back of that machine. Now, what a ballast box is it creates counterweight. When you lift up with one of those front hydraulic buckets, they have a weird weight limit. Smaller machines are like 600 pounds. That machine is probably closer to 1,800.
Yeah.
Now, and that's just me guessing. That ring is heavy. It's a 20 by 20. They were using the thinner lightweight poles. I don't know what they did with the frame. I couldn't hear a difference on the ring sound, so it sounded like everything was still, aces from there on. But when he stood up on that thing, I'm sitting there like, oh God, it threw my anxiety out because I've got this real big quirk about safety. So where the bucket was the entire match irritated the hell out of me. The cameraman being under the ring after the match was over pissed me off. And I was like, oh my God, you're an idiot. I'd slap you if I was there. Like OSHA should find the camera guy. No joke. But other than that, match was fine. I enjoyed the match. It was fun.
It happened the way it needed to. I'll say that. I just wanted to see more offense from Roman.
They're saying the tractor's over.
Yeah, it was. It's up there with the beer truck and the Zamboni machine. I'll give them that.
I think so. And I think this was the most entertaining match that those two have had.
Yeah.
And if they're going to end it, I'm glad it was something different. And they went out on a bang. And I don't know if it's going to be Brock's last match. It depends on how temperamental he'll get or whatever. But if this was his last match, this is a great way to go.
Yeah, I agree. Go out on a high note.
Roman Reigns needs to acknowledge the tractor. I think he acknowledged that tractor several times.
Yeah. I kept texting Marie there, and I was like, Roman's not garbage. When they were dumping him out.
I was horrified somebody was going to hit their head on it because of where the bucket was positioned over the ring. I was horrified of that.
Yeah.
Man,
So.
that would have been one wrong move, and oof.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought Brock was going to bust his face when he tried to jump up on the barricade and he missed his step and he fell backwards.
Yep.
I was like, oh. But anyway, it was a good match and the show was really good overall. I think this made a good statement saying, hey, there's
a renaissance.
New people in charge and let's breathe some life into this company. So I had a good time. And
I
by
did
the sound
too.
of it, I think y'all did too.
Raw got a bit. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I'm going to have to close the show here in about 3 seconds.
Okay. It said Raw got a big dose of debuts, returns for the women's division. How will SmackDown respond? What's the deal with Sasha and Naomi? Will we have more NXT call-ups?
Where did that comment come from?
What?
Oh, or was that your notes?
That was my notes.
Oh. Hey, look, we're good. I got 10 minutes and some seconds, okay?
Okay.
I will say this. I think Roman right now is in the top 5. As far as longest title reigns, I think. Yeah, he is in the top 5. Okay. Obviously, he's probably not going to beat San Martino's record. That's 2,803 days.
Yeah. No.
So you got Hulk Hogan after that, Bob Backlund. They're separated by 4 days. I wrote this down. And then obviously, I really think they're going to have him at least break Pedro Morales' record. His record is 1,027 days. That's 332 days from today.
I can't see him holding it another year. I can't see them doing it another year. I'd love to see him beat Bob Backlund's, but I don't foresee that now. We are in an age, folks, where information is like this. You know, it's rapid fire, right? The most popular thing on the internet right now is freaking TikTok and Reels. So you're talking about 15-second clips of videos, and you just one after the other after the other. Folks, the world has the attention the size of a gnat. There's no way. I just don't see them doing that because nobody'd buy it. Nobody'd like it.
Well, in those days, too, they didn't have weekly shows and monthly pay-per-views.
That is true.
They barely, I think they...
That's probably why Roman does like a Brock Lesnar schedule now. That'd be a way to do it.
Yeah.
But if Roman still has the title by June 28th of next year, he will beat Pedro Morales' record.
I don't see him holding it that long. He'd probably hold it until WrestleMania.
Bob Backlund was 1,470 days. That's 75 days. And of course, Hogan was 4 days more than that. So, you know, summer next year, and then you got the fall of 2024. If he still has the belt then, only time will tell. It was just something to kind of think about.
It's neat to think about. But like Saint was saying, these folks can't even handle two people wrestling 3 times.
That is true, yeah.
Or
right.
Brock and Roman wrestling a few times, several times over the past couple years. I mean, they were like, we've seen this forever. And I'm like...
They're crying now about how many times, you know, Brock and Roman have gone at it. Good God. The Attitude Era is like the gleam in the eye of nostalgia for everybody, yet The Rock and Austin tore the house down forever.
Oh my God.
And same with Triple H.
Triple H as well, yeah.
The Rock, Austin, Triple H, Austin, all of it. Yeah. And then the one comment that about made me hurl a moment ago was David's. I love Roman, but he won't hold it for a year. He will lose it to the Rock at Mania. I don't think so at all. I think the Rock's going to come back. Yes, because the XFL's coming out in 2023 right after WrestleMania. Oh my God, why wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah.
That's part of the backdoor deal, guys.
WrestleMania's in Hollywood. Yeah.
It's a money game. It's a money game.
Money talks at the end of the day.
But The Rock ain't staying around. Yeah. Number one, he's not sticking around the WWE.
And that doesn't need the title.
And here's even the biggest kicker. I know you guys, maybe Sarah or maybe Alora has heard this, but Majestic, I don't know if you've heard this, because of who it was dealing with. On an interview with Howard Stern, John Cena made a remark that said, "Every time I do anything, you know, Vince gets a check, right? Every movie, every TV show, every appearance, Vince gets a cut of that." So think about it logically. The Rock owning the XFL and The Rock appearing and The Rock getting money, Vince is still getting paid by that.
Yeah.
If that's the same deal that Vince has had with everybody, give me a break.
That's why Vince had producer credits in some of The Rock's movies in the beginning.
Vince doesn't have to pay him to be on the payroll and still get paid by him.
Mm-hmm.
It is genius. Absolutely genius. So sorry, David. You know, we're cool and everything, but I don't agree. The Rock winning a strap, The Rock winning a match is one thing. The Rock winning a title, far beyond my belief.
I don't think we'll see a repeat of that because that was the one thing that kind of, you know,
it sucked last time.
Yeah, and Chris said the last time they had long-term champs was in the 80s. This is something new for this generation. You got to remember several years ago, CM Punk had that 434-day reign. And nobody acknowledges that on WWE because, you know,
The bad blood.
Punk is the bad guy. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
just the bad blood. Both
Yeah.
ends of that argument have, their valid points. And, was he difficult to work with? Of course. Is he a prick? Yeah. But, so's the company. It's either way you look at it. Nobody's squeaky clean in this business.
No.
I hate to break it to you. Everybody's got their nobody's clean. Everybody who's ever been successful, nobody's clean. Everybody's done something dirty.
You almost have to be a touch of certifiable insane to even want to be in the business.
Well, yeah, there's that.
So,
True.
I mean,
I agree.
there has to be something going on up here to go, you know what I want to do for as my career? I want to fall on my back on purpose. That sounds like a great thing to do. No.
I'd rather do it there than be a stuntman for a movie, though.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I always said this, especially in my indie wrestling days. If you're looking for drama, pro wrestling is for you.
So,
Yeah.
it is so hard to navigate through all that crap. Trust me. But here's the cool thing. The wrestling industry is a lot like the mafia. Once you're in, you're in. It is entirely, once you're in, you're in. It's hard to get out.
Yeah.
And if you're making the right moves, everybody wants to be your friend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, look, I'm blessed because of the people I get to work with, but that's me. I mean,
And if you ain't careful, it'll kill you.
I have a guy that I work with. I work with him on the weekends. He always asks me about wrestling. He was one of those that watched during the Attitude Era, but he still asks me about stuff all the time. And I'm like, well, okay. And then I like him too. So, this is, oh, you want to know about that? Okay.
I mean,
Michael King has joined us. Now,
Yes.
you already know, Michael.
Hey man, look. I'm ready. Good to go. I got the nice white shirt on.
Mhm.
I didn't wear the other one. I figured the other one would be too much for today's show. I wore this one.
All right, guys. I think that wraps it up for today. Saint, real quick, if you want to plug your stuff, and we'll say goodbye to everybody.
Oh God. All right. So this weekend in Charlotte, North Carolina, I will be at the Gathering on Saturday. The Gathering starts on the 4th. It is the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. T-Mart presents it. If you don't know what that is, find my socials. I'm pretty sure I've got it posted there. But the Gathering 3 is taking place in Charlotte, North Carolina. On the Sunday the 7th, I will be working for Pro Wrestling Savage as the ring announcer. I have this really weird thing I have to do. You ever felt worthless, ladies? I get to feel worthless. I get to introduce Ricky Morton because nobody in the building knows who that is, right?
Oh my
Could you imagine ring announcing for somebody, a legend, a Hall of Famer? I get to do that. So very cool for me, but I feel worthless because people that lived under rocks still knows who he is. So there's that. Normally every Sunday at 4 p.m. you can catch me on the Wrestling Wire. Every Thursday I focus specifically on independent wrestling with Thursday nights Indie Spotlight. I am about to switch pages now because I have a King Enterprises special to do with the man behind it, who was just in the chat room, Mr. Michael King. So
say hi to us.
yes, well, everybody plays follow the leader. So,
Alrighty.
and ladies, thank you so much for having me on here. I greatly appreciate it. You guys know I support everything you do. Hey, are we going to talk about the 9th? Are we going to tell them about the 9th? Should we tell them?
No,
Go
we
ahead.
don't have time to talk about the 9th, but
Yes, we do. We're doing the Round Table
we'll
Rumble.
Talk about the 9th then.
We're going to do a Round Table Rumble where the podcast from the region will all be joining up and hanging out and talking wrestling. So
Yeah.
catch us on the 9th, and we'll let you know what time as we get closer to it. Ladies,
All right.
I bid you adieu. Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.
See
Have a
y'all
wonderful
later.
evening.
Bye.
I'll get out of this
Good
stuff.
night, sweet peach. It's time to go. Good night, sweet peach. It's the end of the show. We hate to leave, but we really can't stay. So good night,